Hey guys, Mr. Mice is here. Final video of 7.3. This one I guarantee is going to be short. Remember at the end of last video I talked about a series cannot converge unless the terms approach a limit of 0. Now, I want to be very clear on this. That just because the limit of the terms approaches 0 does not mean that it converges. It has to go to 0 in order for it to converge, but it doesn't mean that it does. Okay, I know that seems tricky, but we have to remember that just because the limit of the terms approaches 0 doesn't necessarily mean that it will converge. But if it doesn't approach 0, then we know that it does not converge and it diverges. This is called the nth term test. So the nth term test for divergence is that if the limit as n approaches infinity of the sequence is not equal to 0, then the series diverges. If in fact the limit as n approaches infinity of that sequence is equal to 0, then the test is inconclusive and we cannot tell if the series diverges or converges. Okay? Sorry, it's really important that you understand that. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. Come on. Sorry about that. Let's take a look at this example here. And we'll use the test. We'll use the nth test for divergence. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the limit as n approaches infinity of n factorial over 2n factorial plus 1. We need to simplify that. And we're going to get... all right. And what I'm going to do is a little tricky move here and divide everything by an n factorial. All right, so that's going to look like limit as n approaches infinity of 1 over 2 plus 1 over n factorial. And when I plug in infinity for n factorial, 1 over n factorial, this is just going to go to 0, and I get 1/2. Now, since the limit of a sub n is equal to 1/2, which does not equal to 0, this series diverges by the nth term test. And you have to say that it diverges based on the nth term test. Okay, you can't just say it diverges. You have to state what test you used to show that it diverged. Okay, so what you need to do, show the test that you're using, state whether or not it diverges or converges. In this case, remember that it's inconclusive if it is equal to 0. And then once you've determined if it diverges, then you state what test you use to test that it diverged. Okay? All right, so there you guys go. That is the nth term test for divergence.